Hello and good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here as a participant of this, as Mr. Brown said, a very important program. In the last year, we had the opportunity to study, to research, to visit many domestic and regional institutions, to visit European institutions in France and Belgium, and to meet each other and to learn from each other. So on behalf of Group 2, I want to say thank you to the British Council in Bosnia and Herzegovina and European delegations who made all this possible for us and for giving opportunity to be a part of this fantastic project. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you my colleagues and members from Group 2 and, of course, the topic of our policy paper. First, by my side is my colleague Valentina Novaković-Kuč from Government of Brčko District of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Then Selma Ikanović, also from Government of Brčko District of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Unfortunately, our colleague Sara Dečinović from Ministry of Health of Republic of Srpska is not here today, but she's an equal part of this group too, and she worked with us on this research. And my name is Željka Kočić. I'm from Republic Administration for Inspection Activities of Republic of Srpska. The topic we have been dealing with is conflict of interest and discriminatory treatment of the bidders as a part of the problem of integrity in public procurement in Bosnia and Herzegovina. As we already know, public procurement is one of the most economic activities of one state, but in the same time is the most sensitive to corruption. It is also the subject of public interest because it involves spending of public funds. This paper addresses the problem of lack of integrity in all stages of public procurement cycle in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Why we choose this topic and why this topic is so important? As I already said, it's important because transparent spending of public money is of interest to the public. Also, is important because of creating conditions for fair and equal market competition. It is important because of making savings in the public sector and reducing corruption and increasing and the strengthening of integrity leads to an increase in citizens' trust in state apparatus. Transparency International came to the shocking data that corruption in public procurement costs society around 2 billion euros. But corruption is just one of the risks of the violation of the integrity in public procurement. And my colleague Valentina will now tell us more about violation of integrity in public procurement.
First of all, I want to say thank you to Željka because she suggested this topic, and I had great opportunity to learn about complete system of public procurement in my government. So I will try to explain violation of integrity in public procurement through this chart. Through our research, we found some main issues that could be happened if it's come to violation of integrity. So this is corruption, fraud and theft of funds, conflict of interest, secret contracting, then misuse and manipulation of information, discriminatory treatment and losses and misuse of organizational resources. Through our research, we separated three main or even biggest risks to violate integrity in public procurement. So I will tell something more about conflict of interest, discriminatory treatment, and losses and abuse of misuse of organizational resources through public procurement system. Conflict of interest has become a key public debate issue in the world in the last years, especially when it comes to public sector. If we say that conflict of interest is a conflict between public and private interest, then we can face some consequences. First consequence, and it's really important and big, it's a consequence about negative financial impact for one organization or institution. And the second one, equally important, but maybe more sensitive, it's about losing trust of citizens in state apparatus. So public officials, they have a main role and task to serve citizens they represent, and they should put all their effort to avoid any kind of situation of possible conflict of interest through system of public procurement. When we talk about second risk and its discriminatory treatment of bidders, I will say that this is a situation where conditions are adjusted to one specific bidder in tender documentation. How this could happen? It could happen in many ways, but I will say only few. It could happen through tailored technical or technical conditions, or even through changing object of procurement, and that can happen even through unrealistically high demands when it's regarding guarantees or even security. Now I want to point or to emphasize the fact that integrity in public procurement can be violated in every stage of public procurement process. If maybe I should say something about prevention of this problem. We can prevent it if institution or organization choose any mechanisms to avoid favoring one specific bidder, and they can do it through research of market, or even maybe important to make stronger cooperation with other colleagues who are dealing with problems through public procurement system in their institution. When we talk about losses and abuse of resources through public procurement process, I will say that this is a situation where person or persons abuse official position to get some private benefits for themselves. We can prevent this problem through strengthening institutional framework, and that would cause and ensure that will ensure strong, efficient, and better public administration. Through our research, we noticed one fact, that NGO sector has huge role in public procurement. So about this topic will tell us something my colleague Selma. Thank you.
Monitoring of integrity of public procurement is carried out by a coalition of non-governmental organizations which are supported by Open Society Fund. The coalition consists of the Enterprise Development Agency, Center for Investigative Journalism, Transparency International, and Associate of Citizens named Tender. The initiative of these non-governmental organizations is named to make public procurement public. The research concluded that the violation of integrity and corruption occur in all phases of public procurement system. Also, there is a great risk associated with non-transparency and discriminatory treatment in public procurement system. Research has shown that all integrity analyses almost never register conflict of interest, but opinion of the population is a little bit different. The public believes that there is many irregularities in public procurement system. So Transparency International, in cooperation with other non-governmental organizations, made some recommendations for the improvement of the proposal law. So they're avoiding discriminatory treatment of bidders, legal protection of whistleblowers, obligation of all contract authorities to publish annual procurement plans and reports timely, and of course stricter sanctions. In the monitoring of in the system of public procurement, monitoring is a very important thing, because all collected informations can be used to develop some policies and recommendations for improvement of a public procurement system. In addition, it's necessary to have established mechanism that is used for monitoring the system. Second very important thing is that all researching must be available to public. Through our research, we find out a lot of recommendations and some of examples of good practice. And about that, more information will give you my colleague Željka.
At the end of the March this year, we had opportunity to visit the government institutions in Skopje in the Republic of North Macedonia, and we get known better with their public procurement system, and we found out that their public procurement system have many advantages in compare with public procurement system in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The main advantages we can take are first of all a fully digitalized public procurement system and fully digitalized system of public procurement procedure, which means that the entire process of public procurement procedure from the beginning to the end are digitalized and fully in electronic form. One of the advantages of complete digitalized system is also absence of physical form of any kind of documentation in public procurement procedure, as well as absence of physical form of a physical archive. So that means that paper-based work is eliminated, which increase efficiency and cost effectiveness. Digitalization of the public procurement procedure contribute also to the strengthening of integrity in public procurement system, integrity of the contract authority in the manner that civil servants connected with specific public procurement procedure protect their reputation as well as reputation of their institution. So I'm very sorry because Mr. Tile left, because I wanted one more time to give our appreciation for great hospitality and all information we got in Republic of North Macedonia. At the end, I would like to conclude and present the main recommendations of our policy paper and main messages of our policy paper. Next slide, please. Main messages of our policy paper. As a conclusion, transparency in public procurement system in Bosnia and Herzegovina is not at the level that could and should be, knowing that citizens and the NGO sector distrust this system. So also knowing the fact that our public procurement system is just partly digitalized and partly harmonized with EU acquis, our recommendations for a reduction of corruption in public procurement can be implemented through increasing transparency in public procurement, through full digitalization of public procurement procedure, and full harmonization of domestic laws with EU legislation.